Hello and welcome to the Coming Conflict on April 26th, 2023. My name is Tom, of course, and boy, what an eventful past week. As I'm sure by now you all know, Tucker Carlson was terminated at Fox. At least it seems to be that he was terminated, even though they released some sort of wishy-washy statement saying that they have parted ways or whatever the frig. But this is more important than maybe people think it is. And I'm going to start off with this quote from this gentleman over here, this certain orange man. Remember when Trump said, "They're not after me, they're after you. I'm just standing in the way"? And good God, could that not be more true than right now? I want you guys to think about all of the people that have been removed from their places of prominence and influence since basically 2015 and 16 when this started. You have Alex Jones, of course, all right? A bomb thrower, a populist, someone who is telling the truth, a man who a lot of people credit with helping Trump get elected, okay? You have Trump himself, who was canceled, and even when he was in office, they did everything they could to hamstring the man, make him seem like a Russian asset, lie to us, lie after lie after lie. Okay, you have Andrew Tate. He was put in jail. Now, of course, that's a little bit more of a controversial topic, but he was reaching young people. I know young people who watch Andrew Tate. They work for me, and it was a positive influence on them. Despite the rest of the guy's character flaws, he seemed like a positive influence. So they threw him in jail for almost 3 months or 4 months and then just let him out with no charges to stop him from speaking. You have Steve Bannon. They charged him with contempt of Congress, something that I think has only ever happened one time because he decided to claim executive privilege. It wasn't his privilege to break. The president said that the conversations between Bannon and Trump were executive privilege. It wasn't his privilege to waive. Same thing with Peter Navarro. Same thing, contempt of Congress. They're trying to put these two men in jail. And it just so happens that Bannon and Navarro are extremely powerful voices in the populist, right-wing, Make America Great Again faction, okay? And the list goes on. We remember, I think it was last summer, they were gunning for Joe Rogan. They've been gunning for Tucker since that time too, if not before. After Trump left office, they made Tucker the boogeyman. Then they switched to Rogan. Rogan apologized. He dodged a bullet. He's still around, but he's not nearly as influential as I think he used to be. I see less clips of him with these shocking interviews that really open the veil that the corporate media doesn't want you to see. You had Dan Bongino, who maybe wasn't the most populist, but he still spoke the truth. He was removed from Fox last month, I think. And even Don Lemon. Don Lemon was fired along with Tucker. And you might be saying to me, Tom, it's Don Lemon. He's a complete clown and scumbag. He is. But the thing that they're doing right now is they are cutting out the dissident left and the dissident right, and they are homogenizing everything. Because you got to remember, Tucker Carlson was the lone voice in the desert that is mainstream media. All right? He was the lone voice. He was the only reason a lot of boomers and older people who just watched Fox News even knew about things like the corruption in Ukraine, the Nazis in Ukraine, the January 6th thing, the vaccines he put on Robert F. Kennedy, and so on and so on and so on. He was constantly making the machine, the regime, the left react to him because he was pushing the envelope, and that is not allowed in Biden's America. Remember that. We are being attacked at all angles, and they are removing the people, the kulaks, and we'll get into this, what a kulak is, but they are removing these prominent people, not because they hate those people, but because they are standing in the way of the Biden regime and the Marxism and us, me and you sitting here right now. The little people, the people without platforms, the people without power. All right? And before I get into this, spare me on Elon Musk. Okay, spare me that he is somehow different than the rest of like Murdoch. Okay, Murdoch and Musk aren't even Americans. Murdoch, the one who owns Fox News and the New York Post, he's the reason Tucker's gone. These people don't care about you. Elon Musk doesn't care about you. He doesn't care about your free speech. Spare me on this. And if we just, real quick, I know I bang on and rail against Elon a lot, but he is a dangerous, dangerous individual. He's owned by the freaking CCP. He is owned by them. And we'll just give a little quick example. I got to get my Elon bash in, you know that. But CBC, which is Canada's state media, they're like 70% funded by the government. Crap outlet. But they got this little tag saying government-funded media. Okay, it's been removed now. Oh, so that's good, right? Progress. No, because what else did he remove? He removed the government-funded propaganda tag from Xinhua and RT and Sputnik and Global Times. These are all outlets run by the Chinese Communist Party and the Russian Federation. Okay? These are propaganda outlets on a platform, Twitter, that isn't even accessible to the Chinese people. These propaganda outlets are directly run by the Communist Chinese Party or the Russian Federation on a platform that the people in China can't even access. Why did you do that, Elon? So spare me that Elon Musk is somehow a dissenting voice. He's not a dissenting voice. How on earth do you dissent against a government, being the Biden regime, that you need subsidies to keep your businesses going? He's a transhumanist Satanist. I'm going to leave it at that. They are coming for each and every one of us, and they just need to get the kulaks out of the way. Okay? They just need to get the kulaks out of the way. And what is a kulak? A kulak during the Soviet Union was like the head peasant, right? Maybe they owned a little bit of land. Maybe they were able to help their fellow men and women, their fellow citizens. I don't know if Soviets, they were citizens or I guess fellow subjects. They were able to help their fellow subjects in the Soviet Union. And they became enemy number one because these kulaks, they had influence amongst the peasants. They had power to shape opinions. They were like the head peasants, like I said. So the Soviet Union spent much time and effort to eliminate these people, put them in the gulags, seize their property. They could not have local populist leaders that could rally people to a cause other than the cause the state wanted. So the Soviets went out of their way to remove these people, put them in jail, have them executed. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Alex Jones, Trump, Tucker, these are the kulaks. They're the kulaks. They're the ones that have the populist voice that people listen to, they respect, they believe, and they trust. So by any means necessary, they need to have them removed. That's why Tucker is gone. Okay? That's exactly why Tucker is gone. I'm sure having RFK on his show didn't help. That didn't help at all. Because RFK is primarying Biden. It's kind of weird, too. Tucker gets pulled off Monday, unexpectedly. And then I think it was yesterday, former Vice President Joe Biden announces he's running for re-election. Not to a sold-out show, not to an arena, not to a newsroom, but through a video released at 5 or 6 in the morning Eastern time. It's very, very strange. But I think this might have been like the final nail in the coffin for the powers that be, this RFK thing. Because the boomers that watch Fox, they also probably remember Kennedy. They remember the Kennedy name. And now I'm too young to have lived under Kennedy. But from everything I've read and studied, Kennedy had good ideas and he wanted to do good things. This is the old Democrat Party, not this new radical Marxist party that inhabits the DNC now. Fox cannot let the idea of a Kennedy, a populist left personality running against Donald Trump, they cannot let that idea get out into the ecosystem that is society. They had to stop it. Because also at the same time, the DNC cancels debates. I think they did this maybe a week ago. They did it right before or right after Kennedy announced. So they canceled all debates. They've completely changed the primary process. Fun fact, and I fact check me if I'm wrong on this. And guys, anything I get wrong in a video, I try to make this clear. I'm not a historian. I like history. I'm not an expert. I know just enough about things sometimes to get myself in trouble and get a fact wrong. So if I ever get anything wrong, let me know. It's not going to offend me. And I'm not doing it on purpose. But getting back to what I was saying, I believe the last Democrat primary to a sitting president was in 1968. And that was Robert F. Kennedy Sr., RFK Jr.'s father, who was subsequently shot when he got too popular. So that's strange. But the DNC cancels all the debates and basically sets it up so that they have a commissar that's going to appoint Biden as the nominee. Because Biden can't debate. His brain is gone. He can't stand on any of his policies. He's done nothing but destroy this country. Think back to the golden years of 2018 and 2019. I can remember it. Business was booming. Money was flowing. Times were good. And then the CCP released its bioweapon and upset the apple cart. Then we get Biden, and he did exactly everything he said he was going to do. He's fundamentally destroying this nation. Go back and listen to his campaign speeches. He said exactly what he was going to do, and he followed through with it. So Biden announces his presidency. DNC cancels debates. Tucker Carlson gets deleted, along with the rest of the kulaks, right? So now the only thing that's going to get out there is the prescribed narrative for the mainstream. I'm not talking about us younger people or the political wonks or the people who are just dig through this and have more niche sources and spend time doing this. I'm talking about the Jane and John Doe who just maybe turn the TV on in the background, and that's where they get all of their political news. Now there will be no dissenting of voice. There will be no ability for RFK to get on stage, be put on network TV, and get his ideas out into the discussion. That's why debates are so important. Even if you have no chance of winning because the DNC is so corrupt, if RFK were at least able to get on stage and debate Trump or debate Biden or debate whoever, his ideas would be brought into the conversation. They would have to be addressed by the other parties. That's why the debates are so important. And yes, I know Trump didn't debate in 2020 either, but I really don't care because Donald Trump wasn't a crooked maniac stealing from the country with both hands and sailing us off a cliff. The scariest part about this is when you get people like AOC who first call for Tucker to be incarcerated, basically. Then Tucker gets deplatformed, and then AOC comes out and says, deplatforming works, keep doing it. Keep doing it. This is the regime. This is their plan. They want to oppress us. They want a United States Soviet Union. These people are megalomaniacal, power hungry. They care nothing about this country, nothing about its founding principles, nothing about its constitution, its people. They will sell us out to the CCP if they can get more money than dealing domestically. And that's exactly what's happening. We are being sold out to China. We have a fifth column in this nation of people who are not loyal to the United States, like Murdoch. He's not an American. Why does he have such an outsized influence in conservative media? Elon Musk, he's from South Africa. And now he owns Twitter. And he can silence any anti-CCP rhetoric, while out of one side of his mouth telling you he loves free speech and placating whatever is the popular opinion of the time, and the other side of his mouth spanking Xi Jinping and kissing commie ass to continue to be able to do business in Shanghai. I don't know if you guys saw Biden's nomination or re-election video, but he made it very clear. He wants to save our democracy and finish the job. When he says our democracy, or any of these politicians, these pundits on the left, mainstream narrative regime, the establishment, when they say our democracy, they mean their democracy, not us, not me, not your neighbor, whether left, right, or center. They don't care about you. When they say our democracy, what they mean is our system where we get to be powerful and influential and tell the little people what to do. That's what they mean when they say our democracy. And when they say, like Biden said, they're going to defeat the MAGA Republicans, what he means is the regime is going out of its way to stomp out any voice who loves this country, any voice who loves this Constitution, any voice who fears God and cherishes their rights. They need to destroy your family. They need to pervert your children. They need to break your family up, your community up. They need to make people dependent on the state. Because at the end of the day, these people want us to worship the state and be subjugate to the state. It is a completely and wholly anti-American force that is at work seeking to destroy us. And hey, Tom, you're hyperbolic. I get it. Guys, look around. Look around and pay attention. Open your eyes. Does this seem like it's going to get better? How? What are we waiting for? Everybody's sitting around. Their bills are getting more expensive. Their freedoms are evaporating. This transgender ideology ripping through the Western world. Scandal and crime, corruption. What are we waiting for? Everybody's sitting here waiting, expecting something to turn, the worm to turn, and then things to get better. It's not going to happen. That's why they ran Biden again, to just finally put it in your face and say, you can't do anything about it. We're going to steal this once again with this doddering old imbecile, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just digging the knife in even more to make anybody who has hope hopeless. But that's not what we do. We're not hopeless. Okay, I am hopeful. I am hopeful that these people are so corrupt and incompetent that this system is going to burn down, not literally, but figuratively. The entire system is going to collapse before they can get their way. And like I said in the 2 videos ago, we need to be the ones at the rubble to rebuild this thing. We got to do it. Do you want to be 80 years old, laying in your bed, waiting to die, thinking back to 2023, when you finally realized just how insane these people were, and you finally realized, I can do something. I can get on in front of a webcam and talk to people. I can talk to my neighbors. I can spread information. I can change hearts and minds. Do you want to look back at 80 years old to today and say, if only I would have tried? I don't. That's why I get into these videos. That's why I talk to people every day. People might think I'm crazy. Maybe I am. But what I do know is things aren't getting better. So we might as well try, right? Might as well try. Because, again, we have banks melting down still. First Republic, remember that? Yeah, they just halted trading. So they're going to go into FDIC receivership. So there's another bank Another bank bites the dust. Okay? And we got Kevin McCarthy. I will give him credit. He's doing some good stuff. They got an idea for the debt ceiling. But you remember back in 2022, during the midterms, Biden said that if the Republicans win the House, they're going to destroy the economy. It's kind of strange because Kevin McCarthy right now is putting a bill out that Chuck Schumer in the Senate is saying he's not going to pass, and Biden's saying he's not going to sign without even seeing what's in the bill. So it seems to me like they are trying to make the system implode. They're trying to put us in a position where the debt ceiling doesn't get increased. It's either all or nothing for Biden. Either suspend the debt ceiling or I'm not signing the bill. That's what he said. That's illogical and doesn't make sense. Either one would destroy the country. And as a caveat, even if we don't raise the debt ceiling, does not mean we're going to default. We just prioritize payments. We pay the bondholders. We don't default. So let's just get that out of your head. We're not going to default. But it would be a political and economic nuclear bomb because of the mainstream media and its lies telling everybody that if we don't raise the debt ceiling, we're going to default as a nation. Guys, times are dark, but it's okay because we're in the driver's seat. As Bannon says, we, MAGA, the regular folks, we are the full faith and credit of the United States. We're the head of the Creditors Commission. We need to put our shoulder to the wheel, call your congressperson, tell them not 1 penny increase, or if you're going to increase, just make some cuts. Let's start getting this fiscal house in order. Let's put it on Biden. If Biden doesn't want to raise the debt ceiling, or if he doesn't want to pass this bill, put it on him. Let's get this bill passed and let Biden be the one to be responsible for not signing it. So that's something you can do right now. You can call your congressperson and tell them to get with McCarthy. Get this hot potato out of the Republicans' laps. And beyond that, every day you could get on Twitter, make a video, talk to somebody, let them know that times are tough and the only way they're going to get better is if you, me, and everyone you know get engaged and start planning, buying food, paying attention, doing everything you can to insulate yourself from what is happening. And then when it all falls apart, we can come together as Americans and say, this is going to be the day that we sign our new Declaration of Independence. And we revive our Constitution, and we do our very best to honor the sacrifices made by our forefathers and make a new covenant with God for this nation. Maybe that's pie in the sky. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, follow me on Truth, Getter, and Twitter at Coming Conflict. And remember, in the information war, knowledge is power, but awareness is victory. God bless.